Jonathan, based on your research, based on everything you've seen and learned, what are your thoughts on should Christians watch horror movies? How much do we open ourselves up to demonic activity by what we allow ourselves to listen to, what we allow ourselves to view?
Yeah, it's a big question. So I'm gonna answer it quickly. When you sin, you let him in. Ephesians 4, do not give the devil a foothold. When you sin, you let him in, meaning, or you let them in. When you consistently give yourself to sin, you don't realize that sin is an invitation to the demonic realm to have their way with you. So you want to resist the devil and he will flee from you. First Peter 5 says it over and over throughout the scriptures. You know, the way that God made us is we take things into our brain. So all wars are fought over real estate. The spiritual battle is fought over the real estate of the mind. That's why Ephesians 6, he talks about the helmet of salvation. The spiritual battle is fought over the real estate of the mind. Here's why. Because your thinking influences your heart, your emotional quotient, and Proverbs 4 tells us the heart takes us places. So Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. This is why Ephesians 6 talks about the breastplate of righteousness, protects the heart. Righteousness protects the heart. So protect what goes into our heart, because what goes into our heart impacts our life. Woody Allen famously said, the heart wants what it wants. Selena Gomez made a song about it. The heart wants what it wants. I'm telling you, the heart does not want what it wants. It wants what it's fed. Okay. You feed your heart and it takes you places. How do you feed your heart? Your thoughts, your thinking feeds your heart. How do you feed your thoughts? Your five senses, what you see, what you listen to, what you say, what you touch and feel. This is what feeds your heart. It feeds your minds, which feeds your heart. So you want to be mindful that, of course not. Don't watch horror movies. I mean, unless it has a redemptive, like Nefarious, as an example, could have a redemptive, instructive intention behind it. But like just something that's just blood and gore and horror like that, that's not gonna. Your heart wasn't made to see that. That's gonna hurt you. That's gonna wound you. It's sinful. And so, yeah, I would be really mindful by what you listen to. Girls ask me all the time, like, why do I only date losers? And I'm like, what's your favorite song? And they're like, I don't know, Sabrina Carpenter, Please, 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 Espresso, Virginia Beach, Drake, I don't know, anything by Taylor. I'm like, what's your favorite show? They're like, Love Island, The Bachelor. I'm like, the reason you only date losers, I'm using your words, is because you've systematically conditioned your heart and brain to look for that. Like that's what you're doing. You're going to a university. This is how the demonic realm works, is God made us really programmable beings, and he wants us to taste and see that the Lord is good, to feast on his law, to meditate on his law day and night, David says. Like this is what we're supposed to do, so that we would set our minds on the things above. Romans 12:2, not conforming any longer to the patterns of this world, but being transformed by the renewing of our minds. And so if we give our minds over to earthly things, we're giving our minds over to demonic things, to be influenced by demons. And so, yeah, no, I would resist sin and live a life of righteousness, disciplining ourselves for godliness for the sake of the kingdom.